there we go. Oh, technical technical issues. All right, it was frozen our end. I didn't know, but you can unmute yourself now, Anjanette. There we go. I can hear her now. She can hear me. That's the amazing part. Hello, everyone. My name is Dara Booth, or Dara for short, because I know some of you people like to make fun of the name. I hear you. I hear you. Anyway, welcome to another Dare Chat, and of course, I'm joined by Aunt. I'm saying it right, Anjanette, right?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, okay, so how do I sound that out? It's Anjay. After a while, I started to lose my ability to spell. It was not a good time. But anyway, well, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, well, it's like 90-ish degrees out where I'm at. Or for those in Celsius, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what the conversion is, but I'm talking
Um,
Fahrenheit.
I think it's quite hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit it's partly humid too. That's what is also an issue because humidity in certain parts of the US, humidity plays a very big part, like down in the south or like
Mm.
Louisiana and all that stuff. It is hot as heck.
Yeah,
um
no, humidity is a killer.
oh yes, it is. And I'll tell you what, there was one time for a whole week where I'm at, because I live in Indiana, which is a state in the United States. And
Uh-huh.
for a whole week we had this huge like pressure cooker type of thing roll over our state, because it was like high heat, high humidity. You were to go outside and even your sweat would cool you down. That's how bad it was. and
Mm.
I mean, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's hot there too in Africa, obviously. um
Yes, yes. And where we are, the humidity in summer is an absolute killer.
yeah.
Yeah, you just, sticky. And we don't have central heating.
Yeah.
It's fans. We have air conditioning, but not in every room in the house, and a lot of people don't have it. So
Yeah.
humidity is absolutely awful. It's horrible.
Yeah, I dislike. I mean, I get it, right? I can handle it, but it's to the point where the humidity is so bad you feel like you're swimming while walking. So
Mm, yes.
you're, yeah. Oh, it's okay. 32.2 degrees Celsius. Okay, thank you for that, Kiwi. I appreciate that. My conversion
Gee, that
skills.
is hot, eh? That's
Yeah,
hot, Kiwi. That's very hot.
yes. Uh,
Especially with humidity. That's like, ugh,
it
can't
can
do
get.
anything.
Yeah, it can get pretty up. Now, obviously, it's not like Death Valley, which is in Nevada, which is like over 123 Fahrenheit at times, or 120 Fahrenheit, sorry. Which for Kiwi, you'll have to do 120 degrees Fahrenheit into whatever it means for Celsius, because I don't know.
It's about 40 something. But
uh,
Nevada,
poss-
yeah,
maybe I don't. Again, this is where my skill of conversion is not so good.
that's
Um,
fine. Kiwi will do it for us.
in the chat, people are, it's this number, it's this number. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, I dislike. Hey, Angel, how are you? Welcome all from both Rumble and
Hi,
YouTube.
Angel.
Hope you're all doing
Hi,
well.
Sandy. Donna.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is like, you actually through this sort of thing, you know a lot of different people. Especially, I
Mm,
think you're big geeks and gamers sort of person. I believe. I know you just a lot of people you follow. So, but yeah, some of the people I've had on before, and all that. Oh, look at that! See, look at that! That's lovely in itself, right there.
Hi, Wendy.
Now all she has to do is get out the like the sprinklers out, the fireworks sprinklers, and just be like, then we're really celebrating today. But yeah, it's one of those. I always like that ability to be able to ask from someone, because I've had people from the UK on, I've had people from Australia on. I actually had someone from Norway on a while ago, and it's always nice to ask them about their what's life like there, because obviously I don't have a passport and I'm a poor man, so you're not gonna be seeing me going out of the U.S. anytime soon. But
Mm.
you live South Africa. I mean, you live there pretty much every day of your life, so you
Yeah,
know how hot it gets, what life is like, and all that stuff. And that's 120, 48.8 degrees Celsius. So we got our answer.
God.
120 degrees. Yeah, it gets hot in Death Valley.
But the thing is, with I've been to Vegas
Mm,
in June, so that's
okay.
pretty much the hot month,
Yeah.
and or the beginning of your proper summer, and it's a dry heat. Yes, it's hot as hell, but
Yeah.
it's dry. It's not that humidity, so
Yeah.
you automatically can handle it a little bit better.
Mm,
Um, yeah, so it's not that bad. It's the humidity that just takes heat to the next level, where
yeah.
you just want to lie in front of a fan, get into something. Yeah,
You're just like, oh, please, please cool me down.
God, take me now.
Yeah. Well, and the thing of it too is like, while you're talking about, like, there's some people who have air conditioners or central air, as it's also called in the
Mm.
U.S. It's quite expensive to have it. Uh,
Yeah, no,
oh,
it's
nice, nice.
runs. Yeah, it uses a lot of electricity.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is that some countries, like the UK, I believe, can't really are able to hold their what is it called? Their infrastructure, their electrical infrastructure can't really handle that because it's not built on that. Um, oh, I think she froze. I think she may have froze. She'll be back. She'll be back. Either she'll have to refresh or something to that fact, but she'll be back. I'm in the U.S. Oh wow, nice to see you. Oh, I'm in Indiana. So what state are you from, there, Donna? Oh, she'll be back. She's again. It's that connection to South Africa. So I'll keep an eye on the DMs just in case something happens. But she should be back. But yeah, I'm actually where I'm at is more temperate because I'm near Lake Michigan, as they would say, and so Lake Michigan gives all that sort of stuff off, especially during the winter. Excuse me, especially during the winter where um, we get the lake effect snow, and that can be bad in itself. Goodness. Can you guys hear me? No, you went off screen. There we go. There we go. Now you're back.
Did you lose me?
Yeah, you I think you froze and then you just disappeared.
Oh, well, you just froze and disappeared. So
Oh my
I think
gosh,
the
I am
problem was
pulling a
on your
magic
side.
uh, I am pulling a magic deck. But yeah, Netherlands. Oh yeah, I actually spoke to someone. No, yes, I actually did speak to someone from the Netherlands. Yeah, it's pretty nice. No, it's just
Yeah.
telling. I was just telling about how where I'm at. There's a Lake Michigan. Hey, Stout, how's it going? There's a lake called Lake Michigan where I live, and during the winter, the lake effect, snow gets pretty bad sometimes.
Mm.
Actually, I think earlier this winter there was at least one day where it got down to -10 Fahrenheit. So I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's cold.
That's pretty cold.
It's not as cold as Alaska. Alaska gets a lot colder, but
Yeah.
it gets to the cold. My Afrikanders, there you go. Look at that. Um,
As
Present at this moment.
Statiman is are you Statiman South African?
Well, there you go. See, stout to man. There you go. A
Wat
question
sê
for
die
the
Afrikaners?
yeah. We'll see if he answers. I also from the Netherlands. I think the whole world is present at the moment. Well, you know what? One can only hope. Oh, yep. There you go. You got your answer. There you go.
Oh, hi, hoe gaan dit?
Yeah. See, I knew someone there was a girl I knew who was very much, she was very much in love with the uh, South Afrikaners, all that sort of stuff. And so, well, I think she eventually ended up marrying a South Afrikaner, but she, uh, like, I don't know what that means.
Lekker means good.
Good. Oh,
Cool.
hey,
Lekker.
yeah. But yeah, she ended up marrying a South Afrikaner because she's very much in love with that sort of the language and stuff, and so
Yeah.
there was that. But I've not, again, I've not been outside the U.S. because it's just It's not an easy thing to do. You have to get a passport. You have to go through the whole process. You
Mm,
have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars just to go someplace, and then spend money there to stay, and then the food. It just it just piles up. It's like saving for a cruise at that point. Um,
but it's dirt cheap to come to South Africa because the exchange rate is, I think it was 17.96 the other day I
mm,
saw.
mm,
And I chat to Donna Hall a lot and we compare prices on food and things like that. It's
mm.
dirt cheap, especially if you're coming with dollars to South Africa.
Really?
It, it's yeah, it's going to cost you virtually nothing to eat here. I mean, what I pay for a steak compared to what Donna pays for a steak,
Mm,
it's like she pays triple. Even
mm,
medicine, what you guys pay for medicine is like 10 times what we pay for it over here.
mm. Yeah,
Yeah, so
and there's and there's
you
a
could do well if you came here with your dollar.
oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I know
Yeah,
Canada. I know Canada. Their money is sort of on par below ours, to a degree. And Kiwi showed it -10 is 28 degrees Celsius. -28 degrees Celsius. That's
mine. Oh, geez, that is.
it's cold. Yeah.
Where
You.
is study, whatever? He'll tell you what we say when it's really cold. I won't say it now.
Mm. Well, I mean, South Africa is past the equator. That I know, and it's more
No,
closer
we
to.
way south. We way
Yeah,
south.
yeah. You're way past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking insane. Yeah, she's right. Donna's right. But you guys are there. I believe there's actually you guys are pretty close to Antarctica in a way.
Well, no, not that close. Kiwi Classic is a lot closer to
Okay.
Antarctica than we are. Yeah, she's
Okay.
a lot further south.
Hmm.
Um, and I can pull up a world map, but uh, yeah. But anyway,
It's
if you look at ja, vreeslik ja, ek sou die P-woord gesê het, stoutie man. But that's fine.
hopefully the med
Ja,
price will change here for the better. Well, that's a hope. And then our prescription
ja.
medicines are free. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Ja,
But yeah, no,
Kiwi,
we can
ja.
actually go to Google Earth, actually,
Yeah,
because
actually, I'm a bit rusty with my geography.
well, I'm
Uh,
not a geographist by any level, so you're in good company.
yeah. Now I've got pushing buttons here, and let me just drag it to my second screen.
uh,
World map.
yeah, but we don't see like -6 here at the worst. Wow, we are the last stop. Wow, Kiwi, that's incredible. Um,
South Africa is on the same um, latitude
all right, here
as Argentina.
we go.
Sort of, yeah, just
Here we
trying to
go.
see. Yeah, South Africa is sort of just below where Brazil ends, and I think it's
So here we
Bolivia
are.
is wedged in there. Yeah.
So here we are. Here's Google Earth. Oh, hey, Shield, how's it going? Hey, thanks, Shield. But
Yes, I'm
here's
there at Cape Town. You see, oh, now I'm pointing as if you can see.
where? So is it over here? Over here? Which way
No,
do you
no, go
want?
all the way down to the point where it says Cape Town.
Okay.
I'm there. If you zoom in some more. I'm visiting here at the moment.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, if you see Somerset West,
Summer.
Stellenbosch. Do you see where Stellenbosch is?
Right here. Stellenbosch. Right here. Yep.
Yes, just a little bit down. That's where I am at the moment.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're pretty.
Beautiful countryside. Absolutely beautiful countryside. It's just mountains wherever you look.
We have the P word. You're fine. He's a JHB is what Stoutman says. I don't know what
JH.
yeah,
Um,
JHB. But that's
Stadman. Oh,
but that's
yeah, he's in Johannesburg. Yeah, if you zoom
OJ.
out a little bit,
Okay.
more. South
Oh,
Africa's big. Zoom out some more.
okay.
Much more.
Oh,
Much more.
okay.
Okay. Now, if you go to
Oh, there we
the
go. There we go. I see it.
okay,
Johannesburg.
now you're a little bit now you're up in. How in the middle of Africa? Come down.
Well, no, I think you said Johannesburg. Johannesburg's right there.
Oh, there's Joburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's Johannesburg. Yeah.
Okay, so he's in Johannesburg. Okay, so that's what that means.
Are you sure that's Johannesburg?
Yeah, that's what it says. It's right. It's right. It's right here, right here, where
Across
it's where you see the
my
blue.
glasses. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Stoutman says, uh,
Yeah. And if you go further down, where I live is actually in Jeffreys Bay, and
Jeffrey's
Stoutiman will know that. Oh, it's Stout.
Stout,
Stoutiman.
Stouty
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So go down, down, down. But
Okay.
you're on the right side of the coast, so just keep going.
Right.
Go there, Jeffreys Bay.
Jeffrey's Bay. I
Little there,
see.
there. Little bit more,
Oh,
little bit
here we
more.
go. Here we go. I see. I see
Yeah,
it.
yes, that's where I am.
Oh, you're right. Oh, here. Oh, wow. So
Yes, so
you're on
I'll
the
haul
coast.
ass across country on Friday to get to Cape Town.
Wow.
And that's about it's 674 kilometers to
Oh,
Cape
okay.
Town from Jeffreys Bay.
Wow.
I don't know what
Well,
that is in miles.
yeah, that's where I'm like, what is that again? I don't. This is where in imperial and metric come in, and I only know
Yes.
imperial. So
Why do
that's
the Americans still use imperial?
because we're Americans. That's why. That's your answer.
Yeah, I read somewhere that it was when you became a country, you didn't want to follow England.
Yeah,
You
well, that
wanted to
makes sense.
assert
Mm,
your independence, so you stuck to the old system.
yeah, that's what it's.
Wow.
You fly direct from Christchurch, South Island to Scott Base for about 5 hours. Wow. Oh, that's right. That's right. We're in out South Africa, so we're gonna see. So basically, you have these here, the French Southern Antarctic lands, and then you have Antarctica. So
Yeah,
basically, so you're besides those points. I mean, you're pretty. You're like the tip, basically. You're at
yes.
that tip.
Yeah, we're
So
on the bottom,
yeah, of South
the
Africa.
best part of South Africa.
Yeah, that's pretty
Net
cool though.
30 man?
But yeah, no, that's still pretty awesome. Though. I don't. I'm surprised. Kiwi class is a lot closer to Antarctica than you are, because
Yeah, if you go to the right,
oh, over
go
here.
right a little bit more. You're going to look for Australia now. If you
Oh,
find
so,
Australia, then you can go hunting for New Zealand.
New
There's,
Zealand. Okay. Oh,
there's
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So that would be correct. They are a little closer to Antarctica than you are. So that makes sense.
a lot closer.
Yeah. Or whether it's still better than most of the world. Well, I mean, okay, getting a little, get a little show offy there. Goodness sake, but no, yeah, it's really fun to kind of just see on the world and stuff. But oh yeah, look, there we go. That's South America. South America gets that bigger tip, so they're a lot more closer touching
Yeah,
than the
that's
rest.
Tierra del Fuego right at the bottom there. They
Yeah.
have the most horrific storms.
Wow.
In the old days, when the sailing ships still had to go around there, they lost a lot. And then us as well, Cape Storm. We also, where I am now,
Mm.
is the Cape of Storms. Is ek reg, Nico? Yeah, I'm talking to my compatriot this side. Yeah, so we were known as the Cape of Storms. Also, a lot of ships went down here
Yeah,
in the old days.
I can believe that. Especially you're talking about like
Yeah,
old wooden ships with sails. Obviously,
yeah,
if it's a stormy area.
and it's freezing here at the moment. 12 degrees Celsius.
Mm,
So for me,
that's
that's cold because we don't normally get that cold.
well. Now you get to experience a little new weather. But no, that's. I mean, again, it's kind of awesome to get to see kind of where things are at because most of the time, yeah, kids learn about geography in like their younger years. Here's the globe, even though the world's not exactly a globe, it's more a spheroid, as they say. The point of the matter is, though, is that it's always nice to kind of see on where people are at in the world because we're kind of all separated by a bunch of water and other stuff. So to get to kind of like and also the turmoils of certain countries and whatnot and the whole shebang of all that stuff, there's a lot
Mm,
of differences between anything. And sure, yeah, we'll stick with our imperial for now, but obviously, we also have things that a lot of other countries don't get to enjoy in their own right, just because of the past and all that other stuff.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, oh, I remember. I can't remember if in the DMs we were talking, but I don't remember how long were you living in South Africa? Have you just been there your whole life?
Oh yeah, no. My family's always lived here. I mean,
Mm,
going back to probably the 1600s.
oh, jeez, that's like
Yeah.
that's like before Australia became Australia, 1600s.
Oh God, yes, way before. Yeah. So yeah, we've always. I don't know. We can trace our ancestry back quite far.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome when you're able to, because I know a lot of people. I know I've seen a lot of people do like that. What is it? That 23andMe, where they're trying to find like all their where they come from or whatever.
Uh
They're
huh.
chasing the genetic history. That's right. They're
Yeah.
tracing their genetic history, and but it's always interesting to see how uh what's Deb saying? Currently 91. Oh wow. Phew,
Yo,
man.
Deb, that's hot, eh? Do you have the humidity as well, Deb?
Yeah, what part of the country are you from, Deb? Because that's pretty hot. That's either south of the states, or either where like Las Vegas and them are over there and all that stuff. That's where that kind of heat comes from. Although, I mean, it could be from right here because it is like around 90ish degrees, so they're about not too far off from what temperature I'm at. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
I just get to enjoy um, hearing about what life is like as you live it, because obviously you've already stated you've been to the states, especially with the whole. I think it's for the FNT, right? That you've come for the
Oh
FNT
no,
stuff.
no, no, no. I only
Um,
started following the geeks and gamers and all of that in about June. I joined X in June last year, so
oh,
I've only been following them for a short while,
mm-hmm,
about a year now.
mm-hmm,
But for my when I worked at the bank, I'm
mm-hmm.
a financial advisor. Then
Oh,
we used to have incentive trips. Used
hmm,
to having incentive targets, and if you made target, then you got to go on the trips all over the world. So
nice.
I've been to Atlanta, yeah, not Atlanta, San Diego on the
Mm,
$1 Million Round Table
mm,
conference that they have. I think they have it most years in the States.
mm,
So I was there in 2006 for that, and then we extended and we went to Vegas
nice.
and we went to Mexico.
Oh. That's pretty nice that you get to do that sort of thing. But your company or your bank, gets to do that sort of thing, because
Yeah.
uh,
And then another year we went to Mexico, Cancun.
mm,
Yeah, we went all along there. But
mm,
the one year, never travel with men because it was only us two ladies
uh,
and three men that qualified for this trip.
uh,
And one of them was the regional manager because I always get to go with. And we drove to Mexico from San Diego, and we
mm,
wanted to go to Tijuana.
oh,
So we go through the border and
mm,
off we go. And 3 hours later, we're still looking for Tijuana. And all the boards down that we're looking at says Tijuana's behind us.
yeah,
And the guys are, no, it's not possible. We've just come from there. There was no Tijuana.
uh,
So we drove 3 hours because men don't take directions. Every
mm,
signboard in Mexico is wrong because there's no way. Eventually, they like said, okay, well, let's just turn around and go back because it's getting late and whatever.
mm,
And when we drove back, the border town that we came in through was Tijuana.
goodness sake,
So we got to see the whole of. We only went there to go to Tijuana because we heard the shopping is good and everything.
right?
And we ended up driving 3 hours into Mexico looking
Mm,
for Tijuana, and it was the border town.
goodness sake, yeah, that
Yeah. The Hard Rock Cafe. I wonder if they still have the Hard Rock Cafe there? Because I mean, this was 2006. That's many years ago.
Yeah, that's an iffy because even Walt Disney World in Florida, they had their own Hard Rock Cafe, but I think they over time it's just left or some stuff has happened. I don't know if it still exists to a degree
Yeah,
because um,
yeah. But
it was a
anyway,
place it was a place to go though. It was a place to go.
yeah. Well,
Mm,
anyway, we spent 3 hours looking for the town that we came in through.
yeah, yeah. That's that. I kind of get that because you do have people who won't either they're embarrassed to or whatever. And I've
But
been in
they're
those.
South African men. Stouty man will tell you.
I'm just talking about myself here.
Yeah,
But but
don't
yeah,
argue with them about directions. They know. I love it.
yeah. Sometimes it's gotta change because I mean, obviously, if you don't know directions, being honest about it isn't gonna get you hurt. It may
Yeah,
hurt your ego a bit, but that's a little thing that can be taken care of over time. It's not that hard. Uh, but yeah, it's I when a long time ago I think it was like my first trip out of like being at home or where I'm at state-wise, and I had to travel to another state. I can't remember where though. I just remember that at a certain point I had to stop at a gas station and ask, okay, so where do I go? And this is before cell phones became, before cell phones, smartphones had the map app, and you could just boop 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 on the map and you'd be good. So you had to rely on maps, and also like asking wherever you could stop to find something. And it wasn't
mm,
a fun ordeal because you don't want to admit that you're lost and all that other stuff. But sooner or later you want to get out of that because if you got people who are waiting on you or know that you're coming and you're just gone for hours on end and there's no they don't know where you're at. You kind of and again this is before I
sat
think
nav.
what?
Before you had sat nav on your phone, because now
Well,
you never get lost.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, even then I think it was a bit before. I don't know if like you get those little things that were like your GPS thing you put in your car and you hang up and stuff, and that was all it was just a GPS thing. I don't even think
Yeah.
they were um, around then too, or if they were around, they're a bit expensive because you know how new technology is. It's expensive at
Mm,
first, and then it whittles down.
yeah.
New Zealand and Ben are just the same. Wow. Oh goodness.
It's
Touching.
universal. A woman will ask for directions. A man, no, you'll figure it out.
Well, she may also yell at somebody to get those directions, so you never know. Just depends on the person, but I'm not there
Yeah,
for that. Uh,
yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, I don't really because of it's just financially hard to do. It's not easy to kind of always travel out and go to places because even
Mm,
in the United States because I don't need a passport for that. Um, just being able to travel to other places it costs a lot of money to do stuff. And like you were talking about earlier of all the medicines and whatnot that cost twice as much here. Um, it's yeah,
three
they're just a
times,
what?
much more than twice.
Well, I know you said like what was the meat was like three times than what it costs for you guys. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just different areas in the world have their different stuff. I know that in like Mexico, I've heard many times in Mexico, it's much cheaper to get stuff done there than it is in the United States. And then you have stories of Canada and their stuff. I mean, Canada is just a disaster. It's this, was it like a state funded sort of thing? And some people have waited months on end to get into the hospital to get something done, and it's so tragic in that manner. Because
Yeah, I think it's the minute they have state hospital, not state hospitals, when you have a national health.
yeah,
They're trying to put that, enforce that in South Africa. I think they've already passed the law,
mm,
but South African politicians couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery. So
mm,
it's going to take forever for that to come off the ground. And none of us want it because it's just when you have, we've got medical aids at the moment. So,
mm,
you belong to a medical aid. If you need surgery, your
mm,
doctor motivates it. Off you go. You have your surgery, your medical aid covers it, and
mm,
you've got co-payments.
mm,
Um, I know with Kiwi in New Zealand, I mean, they've got and even with Angel in the Netherlands, and Donna
Mm,
within the States. It's not that easy to get medical care
mm,
without paying through your ask for it, and especially when you're on a national health. And I think
yeah.
you guys have got Obamacare or something, which basically is your version of national health.
It was
Clued up. I must admit, I'm not too clued up, but I do know that it's much easier for us in South Africa if you belong to a medical aid to get shit done than it
mhm,
is in other countries. There's much more of a palaver involved.
yeah. I don't fully know. I just know that at a certain point we were forced to have health insurance because of said Obama thing.
Mm,
And so when you're forced to, I mean, again, you're forced to have insurance. I mean, technically you don't. I'll make my own. Oh goodness. But in a way, you are forced to have car insurance. But you don't have to have car insurance, but you will get in a lot more trouble if you don't have it.
mm,
And so the same thing with health insurance that at a certain point it was forced upon on people to get because that at the time was what the thing was. And
mm,
I think if you have a government who's going to force you to have health insurance when it really should be personal responsibility, obviously, then people are going to be more or less, uh, you know, willing or all that stuff, and it just don't really turn out well. Is what I'm trying to get at. It really does not
yeah,
turn out well.
I just
And
don't think it's conducive to. You know what? I must just because I don't actually know enough to
yeah,
speak intelligently about it, but I just know that in South Africa,
hmm,
the people that can't afford medical aid, so I don't know about the rest of the world, but people that can't afford medical aid have
hmm,
to go through the government hospital.
oh wow,
And going through the government hospital, I mean, people die waiting in casualty to be helped.
mm,
You know, sometimes they don't have beds
mm,
available, so you end up sleeping on the floor
hmm,
while you wait to get help. Sometimes you wait forever.
hmm,
I know that my PA had breast cancer a few years ago,
hmm,
and she didn't have medical aid, so she had to go through the government hospital.
hmm,
Once you're in the system, the care is great. I mean,
hmm,
she got good care. She had a double mastectomy. They gave her nice new ones. To this day, she still gets medication every single month.
yeah,
Uh, but it's not necessary. She doesn't need it. But
hmm,
that money is being spent to provide her with it. So that's a waste because that medication. It's painkillers.
yeah,
I mean, I've got boxes of painkillers that she brings for us. I mean, the stuff is expiring because we don't need it that often. But the thing is just that if you're prepared to go and sit and
hmm,
take a day off from work to go and sit at the government hospital and hope you get helped,
hmm,
that's fine. But if you're in an accident or something and you end up having to go to a government hospital, you're going to wait hours to be helped. Even if it's an emergency, you're going to wait. You
yeah,
basically got to be half dying on the floor there before you will get the care that you need. You've got to just wait your turn. Whereas at least with the medical aid, you can go to a private hospital
hmm,
and you get help straight away.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
so national health is never going to work. So I don't know how they're going to make it work in South Africa if they cannot even run what they've got at the moment, and now they want to make everyone belong to it.
mhm,
So we're just hoping that, true to South African style, it will maybe get done 20 years from now.
yeah.
And maybe I'll be dead by then, so that's okay.
20 years from now, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Relying it's a funny fact of how this sort of thing works with governmental stuff, and different governments do different things. But it's
Mm,
it's a funny thing how just kind of looking from the outside how people rely on those things later on in life, which is understandable. But it also has its detriments too, so because of you don't get a say at a certain point of certain things if you're the governmental stuff, like Deb said, Donna said, Medicare and Medicaid, which that's United States stuff, and
mm,
usually that's saved for later in life, like elderly people get on Medicaid or Medicare because sooner or later you can't really do much. but it becomes this. It's sort of like the thing also with Social Security too, where and I'm speaking from my butt because I don't know much in this stuff, but it's not. Just looking at it from an outside perspective, it's not a realistic setting for people in general, and that
Mm,
becomes a almost a sinister thing in itself because these products, we can call them products, whatever, Social Security, talking from a U.S. angle, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they're all products set up with a good idea in mind, but the problem is that they're not sustainable ideas because they rely on the new generation coming up, right?
mm,
Old, new, that sort of stuff, right? Back in the day, you'd have elderly helping in different manner, while the young would do different jobs that required more muscle stuff. But things like this with Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, those are things that rely on there actually to be something coming up in order to support that system. But as the talk has been many times before, sooner or later the system becomes unsustainable. And I think that
mm.
can be said for almost all governments, is that any governmental health or whatever, hey, psychotic, any governmental health or
Yeah,
whatever,
psychotic mongoose
yeah,
or mongoose.
the mongoose, that's right. He's he's
Yeah.
he's hiding in the bushes waiting. But it all becomes unsustainable. Canada, United States, the UK, all of it, all governments at some point, the things they provide on a state level, like health and all that stuff, it'll become unsustainable because um, who's going to be there to pick up the tab?
Mm, yeah, us. They just increase the taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
British Sandy says the British NHS is now broken. I think that's National Health Secure. I don't remember. We medicalized every small thing at one time. It worked brilliantly, but this is no longer the case. However, it's still better than alternative in some country. Understandable, but like you said, also, it no longer works the same, and that's what happened. Is that systems in their own right get
Mm,
corrupted? Some of
yes.
these, some.
Everyone's out to make a buck. And yeah.
Hey, shorty. The thing of it is what people tend to forget is that you're still dealing with other human beings at the end of the day, and we can get pretty corrupted. It's been throughout history, and
Mm,
any part of the globe where we as human beings can get corrupted. And so when you're talking about social thing or the health thing, they are systems set up what may have started from a good idea, but they rely on something that is finicky, can be broken, and also and corrupted and all sorts of stuff. Again, at the end of the day, if it deals with human beings, it's not always going to go well, and that's the unfortunate truth. But
yeah.
that's
And the bottom
that's true,
line is that there's certain things that governments have no business being involved in.
right?
And they should just leave it with the private sector.
Yeah, and because that will always be a fluctuating thing with like capitalism or something like that. I don't know, but there was one question I wanted to ask because of, and I don't want to get, I'm trying hard not to get into it because of the political state, but we talk about different countries and the viewpoints from or of or on, and that's where the news comes in, right? News
Mm,
talking on the United States and all that happens, and the kind of misnomer, misinformation, or whatever stuff. But from the you mean I rapped about that 20 years ago? Please don't start now. Oh my goodness. But because you're from South Africa, what has been like your what has sort of been like the viewpoint from there? And it because of the news and stuff that's been on South Africa for quite some time, is it
mm,
is it true of what is being said, or is it more or less being sort of like 50-50? Because again, different countries, different news of how they're shown, right? That's sort of like life through
mm.
the lens. This is how life is, or and a great
No,
example
it's
would.
nothing like you see in the States. It's nothing. Yes, we do have farm murders, and it is bad, and they are targeted.
Okay.
But it's, yeah, it's politics, and it's not, the country's not a bloodbath. It's
Mm,
just although I mean we just desensitized
Yeah.
because it is dangerous to live here. I mean you can't go into certain areas. I mean you're going to get mugged if you walking in. I mean if I'm going out shopping, I'm not going to wear this my Kruger rant.
Oh
Bugger
wow.
that. It gets plopped in there because I mean I'm not going to walk because it'll get ripped from my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just certain places you just automatically and instinctively know
Mm-hmm.
what you can get away with in certain places. I mean, you don't drive your car without locking all your doors,
Yeah.
but it's stuff we take for granted. It's not stuff we like the whole time. We just carry on with our lives. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I drove from whatever. It's fine here. It's probably I've been all over the world. It's no different than anywhere else. In
Yeah.
fact, I think in Europe and those places, you people, they probably got it worse with all
Yeah.
the migrants and that. It's the same everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, life carries on. I mean, it's a beautiful country here. You can live quite safely here. Just be careful with
Yeah.
certain things. Don't go and give people a lift. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's difficult to explain to someone who's not here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's dangerous in that. I mean, I went to visit my daughter in China,
Oh wow.
and there you don't even have to. You can walk into a shop or anywhere, and you can put your cell phone or forget your cell phone on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. You can come back 5 hours later, your phone will be there.
Mm-hmm.
5 seconds later, it's gone in South Africa. Turn your head to look back, gone.
Goodness.
So, it's stuff like that. You just learn to be more careful. If your handbag is on you, you don't have stuff openly displayed.
Mm-hmm.
It's opportunistic. But then we've got 40% unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got to choose between stealing and feeding your family, I mean, you're going to steal.
Yeah.
So, but some people just steal because that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't like to think about it because it's just too depressing. So
Yeah.
I just carry on with my life, but most people get on perfectly well here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not killing each other in the streets
Yeah. And
for the
I
most part.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's where that's where the perception of what's being shown through not only social media, which is also its own thing, but also through the news, which I don't know what people call them nowadays, but just the current news setting of what is. And I think there's a misconception from that regard because once you get something that's viral, like as you talked about, like some people do get killed and all that sort of stuff, it becomes a
Mhm.
blown up balloon, and that becomes the main focus of saying that's what that's like. That's what it's all like. When in truth, there are people who
Yeah.
live there. Um,
Yeah, and I mean, we carry on with our lives. It's not, I
yeah.
don't know, as I said, South Africans are different. We just roll with the punches and we adapt and we carry on.
Mhm.
But it's definitely not as bad as it's made out in other, I mean, you know what the news is like.
Yeah.
Even, yeah, if something happens, they will always report the most
Heinous.
sensationalist version of everything because news sells.
Hmm.
And we always said as well, if when we still used to get newspapers, if someone had been murdered,
Hmm.
someone had shot their husband or vice versa, whatever. I mean, the newspapers sold. It was just all you read about.
Yeah.
But when no shit was going down and everything was peaceful, nobody was interested. It's almost like as a society, we need the excitement of drama somewhere
Yeah. I,
to read. So that's where the mainstream media as well. I mean, they only report all the bad stuff. How often do you see good news stories?
well, not very
In
much because it's not a seller. It's not a
No,
seller.
exactly. People need that excitement. So every things are always blown up, and yes, things are bad. Sometimes things are really bad,
Right.
but I mean, 9 out of 10 times, it's just the media focuses on the shit, and it's like the shit becomes the norm, and it
Yeah.
isn't.
I like how you word that very well.
Thank you.
But it's uh but you did hit on something that kind of sparked is that we don't make it best for ourselves because of the negative aspect where we latch onto and say this is the big thing that's going on over
Mm,
there, like going back to the whole farming situation that was widely reported from South Africa. And of course, that's why some were brought over to United States in that
yeah,
regard. But the point of the matter is that this sort of thing right here, though, this cuts across that sort of misconception space and then says, well, I live in this part. I haven't really experienced that. You can do pretty well. All the stuff you just said, that's a more of a reality than stating that this is what's the majority of happening when it's very almost in between, it seems like. And like you said,
mm,
you've traveled all over and you've been to places where there's not much similar. You're right. I mean, in the United States, in Michigan, there's a place called Detroit, and there are parts that are probably good and there are parts that are probably bad, but people would avoid those areas.
yeah. It's like that in every country in the world and every city in the world. There's certain areas you go into, certain areas you don't. I
Mm-hmm,
mean, when we were in Paris, they told us, don't do this, don't do that. You get a whole list of things. The same when we were in Rio. There's a whole list of things that you can do and you can't do. You
mm-hmm,
get a little pep talk. So it's not just here, it's everywhere.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
do think that without being a total bitch, I think the Europe that was always pointing fingers at us
Yeah.
is starting to see that with the migrant populations and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always the same standards
Yeah.
and the same moral compass.
Uh,
And with that comes a lot of crime and stuff like that.
mhm.
So, yeah, that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, well, and that's fine to say too. I just think that it
Yeah.
it kind of gets in the most ridiculous state where we accept at times more than not what is reported by independents or big people, when rather that's not always the case. And I just find it, and that's why I do this thing, because I get to live in some manner of your perspective, even though I can't really see it for myself, because
Mm.
it's a lot of distance and a lot of money spent to do so. So
Trust me, it's probably exactly the same as where you're living. It's
mm,
probably exactly the same as what we have here. There's probably how many times do people get murdered in your town in a year?
I have no idea. Never looked up those numbers.
No, but you know what I'm saying? People always, it's just people are dying in accidents, people are getting murdered. It's
Uh,
happening all the time. It's not, I mean, if I watch true crime story, I mean, there's a couple of channels that are dedicated just to crimes.
mm,
And I would think that I'm not going to the United States, I'm going to get shot or murdered at some point because those things have always happened.
yeah.
It's just that news fixates on that now.
Yeah, it's the shame of it all. But I mean,
Mm.
how many states, when you came over here, how many states did you visit? Because I know you said Georgia and then San
Oh, no,
Diego.
no. I've only actually ever stayed in San Diego.
Okay.
We were there for a couple of days, and then we went to Vegas.
Mhm.
And then on that trip, we did a day trip to Mexico
Oh,
to
okay.
go to Tijuana, but ended
Yeah.
up doing more. Um, then we were back again in 2017, and we
Mhm.
went to Mexico.
Mm.
Or was that 2016? We were in Mexico.
That's
But then we
that's
came in, yeah. Oh, I forget. I was there in 2005
oh.
when Hurricane Katrina hit. We were
Oh,
in
wow.
Argentina. Yeah, we were in Argentina and we
Oh.
flew to America on the 5th
Mm.
of September
Wow.
in 2005. And we were at Disney World for a week,
Mm.
7 days. And that's when all that shit was going down about the people in the stadium in Houston, and
Mm.
that was all over the news because my husband was glued to the TV
Mhm.
when we were in the room because this was, and I
Mhm.
mean, we drove from Miami to Orlando
Mm.
via Cape Canaveral because we went to the Kennedy Space Station
Oh,
or
wow.
Center or whatever it is, yeah. And all along the road, you could see a storm had been through there. And
Mhm.
I don't think Miami got it as bad as Dallas and Houston and those places. But you
Yeah.
could see everything was wet. There was tree branches on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It was hectic, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think that was in New Orleans. New Orleans was the one most pronounced
Yes,
for
that got
Katrina.
it bad. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the levees broke.
Yeah, well, and the thing of New
Yeah.
Orleans is that I learned over time is that New Orleans is sort of like a bowl, and so the
Mm,
levee keeps the water from getting into the bowl, but the levees
mm,
broke, and so
yeah,
the bowl became filled.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's the tragedy of that. But yeah,
yeah.
that was young. That was that was a long time ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we
Yeah, well, some of us are older.
Hey, well, hey, calm it down there. All right, calm it down.
Yeah.
But no, but that again, that's why I like getting this opportunity because I mean, you are seeing America in different aspects through your eyes, and so
Mm.
there's a lot more, or a lot less per se from your perspective. And so when you visited the U.S., what what were your thoughts of? Like I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna be a whatever those type of people, but honestly, what were your aspects or thoughts of coming to America?
It's when you've been to a few places all over the world, it's all the same. The countryside, there's aspects of the countryside that's exactly the same.
Mhm,
It's actually no different.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you guys are English as well. And you've also
Yeah.
got, you a fairly new civilization too. So
Mhm.
you don't have those ancient buildings and that you have when you go to Europe, and
Ah, okay.
that's the world. Because
Mhm,
then it's more. Yes, you've got older architecture, but nothing that's on the scale that Europe and England and Russia and China and all of those have. That the
yeah.
civilization is so much older
Mhm,
than South Africa and America's.
mhm.
So I mean, even in Argentina and Brazil, you could just as well be in South Africa. You know, there's certain aspects of the foliage and that's different,
Mhm,
but it's the same. It's
mhm.
high-rise buildings, it's cars, it's people going about their normal lives. It's actually nothing different. Where you do notice a difference is when you go to places like Thailand and Bali.
Mhm.
That's different. I mean, I don't know how to do a screen share or anything like that, but I mean, if you're standing in the main street of Phuket and you just look down the road, it's just cables going right across the road like this.
Oh,
That's a culture shock. That's totally different. And
wow.
not to mention the humidity. You get off the plane and it's like you've walked into something.
Yeah,
Uh, that's insane.
yeah.
But I mean, there you can say you're in a different part of the world because it's just, oh, everything is different. And people live in tiny little houses, and there doesn't seem to be any code when it comes to electric or building or anything like that. But
Mhm,
it's still a nice place to visit. But the United States, driving through English countryside, it's the same. You
mhm.
could just as well, if you were driving down South African roads, except that we drive on the right side of the road,
That's
you could
true.
just as well be driving down your road in America.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's
Everything
all
is,
yeah.
yeah,
Well
there's actually no difference.
well, I mean, you still have the language aspect because not I do know to some degree that there are countries spread throughout who are speaking or some bits and pieces are speaking English more because I had a gentleman on who has a parent from Italy and who has a
Mm,
mom from Canada. And so, once in a while he goes back to visit Italy. But I mean, there are some places where they have you put like English as their second language, and so it's sort of become a funny thing where English is becoming this. I don't want to say pervasive, but it's becoming a language that's becoming more global because of whether it's dealing with maybe the UK or the United States. Not sure exactly, but it's becoming more pervasive in other countries as such. Like I know in Japan they kind of teach it as a second language, but yeah,
mm.
at least from when I was talking to him, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, no, but English is the recognized international language. It used to be French years ago, but English is it's the universal language. It's the language of trade,
Mm,
of commerce, of everything. It's English.
mm,
So, a lot of, I mean, yeah, most countries, they are. teaching English. That's why my daughter has been teaching English in China now for 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're teaching their children from young to speak English and to speak it well.
Mhm.
It's just, it's because the world is a global village now. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you and I are chatting, we're continents apart, and yet there's the picture clear. My
Yeah.
mind doesn't understand how that works. I don't even know how to talk to someone on a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I mean, how? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that. I just know it works, and thank you very much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
But English is definitely it's universal language, and in most countries they will get away with it's pidgin English, so you can make yourself understood. Except
Mm.
the French.
Yeah.
The French refuse to speak English. So the way you get a French person to speak to you in English is you speak to them in Afrikaans
Yeah.
or another language. And then they will say English, or you just say one word in English and they'll say English and then they'll talk to you in English. But
It's
if you speak to a French person in English, they won't answer you. Not always, I'm just saying in general.
well, that's funny.
There's,
That
yeah,
that that's funny because they relied on a lot of people during the world wars to save their behind. So it's kind of tough.
yeah, yeah.
It's whatever. But
French,
but
French.
yeah, but no, but they, like you said, it's pretty awesome because of the advent of technology. We're pretty much allowed to do this thing, which seems almost instantaneous. But I mean, it all requires is a bunch of cables going in the ocean and satellite, right? Like
I know.
yeah,
It's yeah, that's what I said. Geography, it's just geography.
yeah,
I mean, for years I used to travel 100 kilometers to work every morning, 100 kilometers back because you go to your office.
hmm,
And then COVID happened, and we set up office at home. Now 90% of my clients I deal with electronically. They've never even seen they've seen my face because it's on a WhatsApp photo and I work with WhatsApp. But most clients, you're not sitting in front of a client anymore. Everything is electronic, over the phone, over WhatsApp, whatever.
mm-hmm.
So it's the same with the world as well. There's no borders anymore to doing business.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's just okay. Obviously, I mean, if I order something and it's got to come from America, then it costs a fortune to get it here, and then I've got to pay customs. So there's that's still obviously
y-
there's still borders. But I
yeah,
mean, to chat and to be friends with people, I mean, it's easy. I mean, on X, I've made how many new friends, and that's just from chatting,
yeah,
um, from a hobby, something as a distraction to my
hmm,
job, because my job is quite intense. So
yeah.
you need a break. So bye, Michaela. Night. Same grandchild saying good night.
Oh.
Yeah,
Good night to that as well. But anyway,
yeah.
it is the I know it's a bit of a delay, but it is the top of the hour. And so what happens is that I set aside some time for me and my guests to usually have creators on, not always, but sometimes when I have a creator on, I just set aside time to promote them. But if there's anything you want to take a moment to say, or some sort of poem you'd like to recite, the floor is yours. Otherwise, we'll move to my stuff.
Oh no, no, nothing.
Oh man, I was hoping for a poem too. Dang. All right.
No, 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 no.
I was gonna be like she's doing
Yeah,
Shakespeare in the park. Oh my gosh.
yeah. No, buy Dan Vasc and Eric July's new single. Get them to the top of the billboards.
Oh, that's right. I did see you liked that new post with
Yeah.
Dan
Have you
Bath.
not heard? Have you not played the song yet?
Oh, I saw it, but I've been on to
Oh,
other
maybe now
things.
use my floor time to play it.
Well, that's like no. I have to be careful because I'm on YouTube and copyright and all that stuff. So,
No, Dan Vasc stuff isn't copyrighted. You can play it.
oh really? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, you
we'll
don't
do
have to
that.
put a stamp on it, nothing. You can play the whole video.
Okay. Well, I'll try to find it in a bit, but we'll get through this stuff and then we'll
Yeah.
go from there. But anyway, but yes, I only in the description I'll put down your X, so like people wanted to see who you are and stuff, they have their X to look at. But other than that, she's a very lovely lady, so hopefully you'll give her a look and see if she's worth saying hello to. So there is that. But anyway, from my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube, because I do stream to both arenas, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, obviously. It also helps in having other people on, like Anjanette, like Tomby, like Comics Dad, like many of the some of the other people you follow as well.
Yes.
So many people. I've talked to at least over 200 various guests, and globally
Uh-huh.
to a degree. So there is that.
Yeah.
But that engagement factor on either end helps with that. And I saw you
Mm.
swim, Ginger. I'll mention it. But every part on either end helps with the engagement factor, and that's much appreciated. Of course, I have a link down. Well, give me 1 second. I have a link for down in the up here we go. This leads to my Twitter X. It leads to my email. There's also a link to my Discord, but it's mostly just for DMing. I don't run a server. I don't. I don't have anything of that value. I just have DMing. I don't only have so much mental bandwidth. I'm not gonna, yeah. So, but anyway, thank you for that. There's one more thing I'll quickly get through, because I'm trying to get better at promoting it while also being part of the ordeal. A while back, I don't know if people out there who know what Proton is. What, no kiwis? Well, I actually tried a kiwi once. No, I can't eat a kiwi. It did not work out. But
You're
there's one
talking
more
about the bird, the
the
kiwi
fruit.
bird.
No, the
Oh,
fruit.
the fruit.
Yeah, the fruit.
Yeah.
Kiwi
You
fruit.
do know you're supposed to take the skin off. I know that Madam Savvy eats it with the skin on, but that's just savage.
No, I did try it without the skin on, but
Yeah.
it just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't hit very well. But there's one
Yeah.
more. Sorry, apologies. There's one more thing I'll promote. I am part of. If no one's heard of Proton, they have Proton Mail, VPN, all that sort of stuff. A while back, they were promoting a post on X, stating they were opening them up to being part of the partner program. I didn't think I'd get in, really didn't go in for the money or stuff, just wanted to see if I could try, and I got in. Um, Reasons why I'm promoting it is because I use it and they do a few good things. If you've not tried them before, that you can make a free account and get used to that. They allow you to the paid version allows you to use a get these alias emails. So if you sign up for something elsewhere, you can use an alias email. And if something goes wrong or the company gets spammy with you, guess what? You can just cut it off and you won't get anything more from them. That's what the
Mm.
alias email is. Another part of the faction is that they're pretty good about spam. So rarely will you get spam in your inbox and stuff. Like if you use Gmail, AOL, iCloud, all that stuff, you rarely get spam. And spam scam is really a big thing, that hurts a lot of people all over, in fact.
Mm.
But the U.S., I believe, is like it was like a multi-billion-dollar or business, so to speak. And the U.S. gets hit a lot by the elderly and many other people, so they do a pretty good job in that. And one of the things too is that there's no ads. There's no ads to use it, like a lot of free email stuff. They don't scan your inbox to even give you target ads. They have no ads at all. So that's the link. You can go check for yourself. Yes, I can make a little money off it, but at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's about promoting a product um, that I use and I believe in. And if you've ever heard of like Billy Mays, like the OxyClean stuff, Billy Mays would always say, um, Billy Mays would always say that he would not promote a product he wouldn't use. Same goes for me. I use a product, I'm promoting it because there's benefits for everyone. And even if you don't use it, that's okay. At least you know it's there. And it's always there if you want to decide to use it. So thank you very much for your time. I used to carry on along for that, but it was, yeah, learning over time. Let me the fruit. Kiwis are people. I know kiwis are people. I know kiwi the people. That's the name, and then kiwi the bird. I was talking about the fruit. If I was talking
Yeah.
about a person, it wouldn't be great.
No. Kiwi's a very talented artist, by the way.
Oh, really?
She, yeah, she does the most beautiful artwork. And Deb as well. Deb is also
Hmm.
an artist. Donna Hall also
Done.
studied art.
Oh,
So
that's
you've actually got quite a lot of artists in your stream today.
Oh yeah,
Hi, Francis.
I uh I had a lady on. Her name is oh my goodness, it started with she's Jewish, so her name was kind of a weird thing to say. But she was a great artist. She worked with oil, she worked with watercoloring, she worked with all sorts of art types, and she was actually building this tapestry that was very, promotional of Donald Trump and all that stuff. And it was embroidery and all that. It was pretty incredible. But I have to look up her name because it was one of those names that are it's not, it doesn't sound as it looks, is what I'm trying to say.
And now I want to hear it.
Well, let me give me 1 second. I can actually look it up because I can look it up in the back end. It's just I think it was oh gosh, I don't want to say wrong, to be honest. If I get it wrong, I'm probably gonna get reamed out. Let's see if I can't find it. Nope, not Hevel. Tundra. Nope. Chaya. Kaya. That's right. Kaya.
How do
It's
you spell it?
CHAYA. Uh,
Chaya. Shire, yeah, Chaya.
yeah.
Oh
It's
shit! Sorry, I
she said
almost left the stream.
she said Kaya. Because again, she's Jewish, so they say names differently.
Yeah.
But she
Okay,
was
Chaya.
Yeah, she actually, you know what? I will get the link so people can check out that stream because she did show off some of her artwork. She even showed off. She was talking about like oil paintings and whatnot would be costly because she does do that. Let's see. Okay, this is the link if you guys want to go check out that stream with her as well. Um, right here is that link. That's with Kaya. But she's
Yeah.
lovely. She's a lovely lady. So some of mine take up to 200 hours. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, Kiwi
That's a
can
lot.
drop the link for her YouTube channel as well if that's allowed.
Sure, yeah, sure,
Because
she can do
yeah,
that.
because she's got amazing art up there as well.
Yeah.
And the ladies were saying in the chat earlier that you need to play dance song.
I will get to it. We'll get there. We up. Oh,
Yeah,
well, a little more
no,
time.
just
But
play.
I just wanted to. I wanted to thank Swamp Ginger. I can't. Swamp Ginger gave 5 gifted subs on Rumble. So thank you for that,
Oh,
Swamp
that's
Ginger.
nice.
Much appreciated. And it's a good interview. Well, I don't really see it as an interview. I just see it as a conversational thing because I know a lot of people say that, but for me, an interview is sort of like you go in with a suit and tie, or you see what other people see, with celebrities and whatnot. And I just see this as a conversational piece because at
Mm,
the end of the day, it's about having conversations with other even across the world. Like I said, I've talked to people from
yeah.
Australia, from Norway, from UK, Germany. I've talked to a few from Germany, all over, and now South Africa. Look at that. Um, but yeah, I just can't see it as an interview because it's just a conversation. It's not. I'm
Yeah.
not grilling people. She can ask me questions. It's okay. She has the ability to ask me what she wants. I don't think she ever will, but okay. Let me
Where are
find
you from in the US?
Indiana. It's a state called Indiana. So I
Um,
oh no, Indiana.
yeah,
Indiana.
Indiana, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
But now
the
we my map,
it's
my
it's below Michigan. If you've ever seen the state of Michigan, it looks like a glove, and so it's the state below Michigan. That's all
um,
together. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. I got a Dan
yeah.
Vask. There we
Oh,
go.
that's the
I see it. It's the
yeah,
no. It's it
glorious.
glor. It's glorious death is the one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Swamp Ginger. And I've had Swamp Ginger on before too. Great person. He has a squirrel for a VTuber because he's shown his face, but he does use a squirrel VTuber for his stuff, or PNG, I think it is. So it's pretty awesome to have a just east of me. Oh well, how about that? Yeah, I have family. I believe he said Ohio. Yeah, I have some family in Ohio, more near Cincinnati. So if that helps. But I did find it. Hold on, before I play it, I want to make sure. Oh, yeah, I hate when that happens. I gotta set it up here first, though.
Dis eintlik
Hope
'n bietjie warmer nou, nie? Dis 16.
PNG. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was born in India. Oh wow, not bad. Okay, and Swamp Ginger says PNG. Okay, it's But another side of VTubing is there's VTubing, 3D model, 2D model, or PNG, which is one of those things. And we haven't talked retro games. Dan will be disappointed. Well, I don't. I can talk about anything, but I don't just talk about one thing. So, all right, I believe
Yeah.
I have it. Let me bring it up. This is Glorious Death, and it's a heavy metal song, so I won't have it up too loud because I know heavy metal songs can get pretty aggressive.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, this one will blow your socks off.
yeah. All right. So I have this on. So let's see if I can. Can you hear that?
Ons het 'n bietjie hard is vir 'n rukkie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure. Could everyone hear that? Because I did.
Perfectly.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm just gonna let it play. Okay, guys. All right. Here we go.
Here we stand at the turn of the tide. I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side. I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side. But that's what this mandates. Be it might, and unlikely allegiance. We will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Glorious death. Our goal, our mission is clear as we ride against a dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this fading choir. This and bay, the savagery mindset. Not today, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will, define our reaction. Rip out the throat of this one intersection. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for right is the path. They shall remember glorious death. Glorious. The angels have fallen, my allies are beaten and broken down. Broken down. I shed not a tear. After all, this is why we are here. Oh, we were not supposed to win. If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my spine. Go! You must say me a fool. I stand on the skeletons of every goal. If I'm to die, well, this very night, we'll kill every demon that stands in our soul.
Well, there you go. That was pretty rocking. I think you can. You think you're still muted? There we
It's good.
go.
It's
Yeah, it's
good,
pretty
eh?
good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not
Yeah.
much of a hard metal person, but I have listened to some of Dan Bass stuff. Mostly the when the Witcher stuff came out a while back. I saw some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
it
this is
was pretty good.
original material. It's not a cover. He actually composed the music,
Yeah,
and him and Ripper wrote the lyrics together.
nice. Yeah, well, yeah, and I know he kind of does it in his own. For many songs he covers, because I know the one song that really got him big was "Amazing Grace." I believe he did
Mhm.
that song, and that really kind of shot him up a bit. But he was doing a very rock version, metal rock version
Yeah.
of that too. So there was
Yeah.
that. But no, that was pretty. That was pretty awesome. Glad to get to hear. It's very. It reminded me of a very. I have to keep working. Well, work. Don't let us disturb your working. So glad you're here.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Alfie.
she can't. She heard the music. She said, "I gotta be into this, or be in for this."
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I know he's. Dan Vasquez done some other stuff as well. Mostly just covers. But yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Mm.
So, but
No, that's brilliant.
yeah, great stuff. There we go. Sandy says, "Great stuff." As far as I can, it is still on 11 at Kiwi. Huh? Oh, okay. Must be a little behind or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, I just
What?
when you get the host to play a music video of someone else, like just play. It's like, all right, I guess. My ears are bleeding. Um, but no, that was a pretty good song. It's not the hard rock. I've only listened to a few hard metal rock kind of songs. Like I've listened to Sandman by I believe by Metallica. They've done that one.
Oh,
They
that's brilliant. Yeah,
they
that,
yeah.
that was top of the charts. It was at number one on the iTunes charts, and Dan and Eric dethroned them because they
Oh
had the
wow.
top down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and then the other one was I think it was by Metallica too. Was the Puppet Master or something like that.
Mm.
Because of the Master of Puppets. That's right, the Master of Puppets. Because that was a song that was on, I believe the previous season of Stranger Things, and I just heard that song. It's like, all right, I gotta listen to that one. And it's a variable sort of taste. Number one, there you go. Number one on the metal charts. There you go.
Mm.
Uh, know it now too. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess you could say I'm individualistic on a song if it's good. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who are very heavy in, say, like the hard metal stuff, like they're like what do they call them, like thrasher heads or something like that. Like they're just all
Metal.
there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see me trying to do that though. I might get whiplash. That's like basically saying,
Oh, yes, my
uh,
neck. I have the hair for it, but that's where it ends.
yeah. I'd like to do the
I'll
show.
throw my old lady neck out.
That wouldn't be good at all. It'd be like, so how you doing? Hold on, hold on. Uh,
Oh God.
oh, okay. Mm, you'll
Not to
be hold.
mention the tickling turkey neck.
Oh goodness. Well,
Slap
that's
myself head banging with that.
well that's a lot less than saying you can't move your neck at all, and you have to kind of lift yourself up to even see people. That's
Oh,
when it's not fun.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I listen to a whole variety of different music.
Mm,
The intro that I played earlier was actually done by a gentleman by the name of Pogo or Nick Burtke because he has put his real
mm.
name out there, who's from Australia. And so he made a bunch of different mixes, Disney and all that sort of stuff. And that was My Fair Lady was one of them. And
That was
so
actually nice, the one you played in the intro. I was enjoying that.
yeah, that's
Oh,
he there was a video a while back he did showing of his process of how he does stuff because what he did was he actually bought like the 4K or Blu-ray DVD of My Fair Lady, and
yeah.
he took the images and music bits from inside it and used that for that video, and he just mixed it up, turned it around, and added some of his own stuff, sure.
Mm.
but some of his mixes are like that. He actually was commissioned by Pixar for doing Up. He did one for Up, the movie.
Oh,
Um,
that was such a cute movie.
yes, yeah, that
Yeah.
he's done one for that. It's called Upular. Oh, Rock Chart. Okay, all right, Rock Chart. I thought it was like Metal Rock Chart. Sorry. Do you mean headbanging? That's it. That's the word. I I couldn't remember the word right there.
Well, there's a lot of metalhead ladies in the chat.
I'm
Um,
just waiting for them to go. Can you hear me now? I'm like, holy crap! Pass the peas. Oh, this is not gonna go well with that. But what was I at? But yeah,
I
it's
thought you did pretty well there.
yeah. Look, at a certain point,
Metalhead out of you yet.
no, please, Lord, no, Lord, if I can just ask for something, please don't let it be that. Um, but metalheads, yeah, that's another name for it too. But I've listened to some songs, but I don't like all metalhead songs. They're just at a certain point, they're just too much. They're just too. It's
Yeah,
like
there is, but there's a lot of beautiful stuff in metal,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I didn't appreciate before either, because my husband was the ACDC
Oh yeah,
blow
ACDC. Yeah.
your bloody eardrums out when we were younger, and
Mm,
that type of metal, Iron Maiden, but he always had everything full blast, and I sort of just switched off.
yeah.
And it's only lately that I've started listening to metal, and there's a lot of nice stuff in metal. It isn't all just loud, there's a lot of beautiful ballads and things like that as well.
Mhm.
So it's a very wide genre, but you need to give it a chance because I
Right.
like those. I like that. I like the power and the energy you get from it.
Yeah, I found Amazing Grace and discovered power metal because of oh yeah, yeah, the Dan Vasc doing Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
That was pretty hefty for that. But the song itself, Amazing Grace, is so hefty in its own right because of just
Mm,
what it's based upon, which is all
yeah.
the slave trade and all that stuff back in the day. Um, but I mean, I've listened to a few different kind of metal songs. It's just that it's very peaked. Like again, I've listened to many others. Like I know Dan Vast did. What was it? Kiss by a Rose. Seal.
Mm.
He did that. It was a pretty nice ballad. And he's done some other ones too. But there's just it's just a lot of varied mix within it. I mean, the same with rock and classic rock and all this stuff. Like I'm a big fan of the Beatles. And not many, and some people aren't a fan, but that's okay.
Did
At
you
the end of
say Beatles?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I used to enjoy them when I was younger, but
Mm.
they just haven't aged well for me. I don't
You
know. Maybe it's just I find their lyrics. If I listen now, they
uh
had catchy tunes, and I mean, I'm talking about when I was in my teens.
yeah.
I mean, I had like their LPs, because those days it was LPs,
Mhm.
and all of that. And I really enjoyed their music. But for a while, they just sort of disappeared and you didn't really hear any of their music. And then when
Mhm.
I started looking it up on YouTube and listening again, I was like, oh God, it's so insipid. I just, I can't listen to it again now.
Mhm.
What about Creedence Clearwater Revival? Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, Bad Moon Rising, Unfortunate
Yeah,
Son. Yeah, there's some pretty good stuff there. Um,
yeah, that's
but
good.
I mean, again, like all taste over time, things
Mm,
change, and
yeah,
that's understandable in the fact of like this was great back then, but now it's not so much. But I mean,
yeah,
you're you're at least listening to music, while some people would just not care to or whatever. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm not. I'm picky in what I listen to, but if it's good to listen to, I'll buy a song off
Yeah,
iTunes, whatever.
yeah, it's important not to restrict yourself to a genre and not be closed minded and say, okay, I don't like that type of music or I don't like that. If it's a nice song, I'll like it. It does. Hi,
Mm.
Nog. I never know how to pronounce that. Noganol.
Okay, so when I had him on, it was Nagrinol, Nagrinol,
Nagranol. Yeah, I
Nagr,
think Yeda says it right. Nagranol.
Nagr,
Hi.
yeah, Nagrinol. I had to ask him too. And it's like, okay, how do you pronounce it? And it's Nagrinol because it's got that weirdness to it. Like I don't know what he
Isn't that
came up.
from Lord of the Rings? Weren't those flying bird things?
I
The Nazguls
Oh,
Those,
not those are Nazguls. It's been a while. So if he wants to say,
yeah.
he can go more than Antu,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Naganal, where does it come from, your name? Is there a Lord of the Rings connection? I could be wrong.
he
I
she wants to
probably
know
am.
Nagardnal. Tell her Nagardnal. Yeah, do tell her Nagardnal. Tell her the truth.
Explain your name.
He's gonna get a lot of people, meta-head people, be like, "Tell us your name. What does it mean?" And I can't wait for Dan's new Manowar album coming out soon. Oh wow, that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I just seen his stuff on YouTube. I've not really gone any further than that. Um, Mine is varied and mixed, but
I
yeah,
also have a mixed taste, very mixed.
yeah. Uh, uh, oh, here's Q. And then of course, hey, Shorty. Oh, look, Shorty got another one. But my thing is, country, not so much. I won't. Country. There's been a few country songs, but no.
Your country is also, it's just so, I don't know, cliche. I can't listen to country anymore either. And there was a few country songs that I enjoyed. My dad loved Waylon, Waylon something and
Ah,
Charlie Pride.
mm,
Waylon Jennings, I think
mm,
that was the name. And then there was Charlie Pride and Chris Christopherson. I grew up with all of that and
mhm.
I liked it. But
Uh,
there's just the new stuff is, I can't, it's just stupid. I mean,
It's
Beyonce doing country. I mean, really? Really?
also, here's your answer from Nagardnal. It's my last
It's
name
my
backwards.
last name backwards. Okay, now we're going
Yes.
to be doing land.
Land, rig, and rig
Jesus,
and.
I'm trying to spell backwards. Land, Landgridner. Landgridden.
Thanks, Nagardnal.
Landgridden.
We're gonna be like, hey, it's that guy with the name
We're
backwards.
having widow moments.
Yeah, yuck the country. Well, not all country's bad. Like, I mean, I find it funny when you have country kind of cohese with some. Like, there was that Tim McGraw Nelly song a while back, so it was like a rap country. So you do have that. There's been like pop country too, but Taylor Swift, I don't, I don't need
I
to.
think people run out of original ideas and then they try and reinvent the wheel and come up with things that just don't belong together instead of, because there's just no creativity left to create new.
Well,
But then on the other hand, it's through experimentation that new things come from experimentation. So
mhm.
you did say it, land,
No, he forgot the D in it. He forgot the D in
land,
that, so it's not right.
Landrigan,
Landrigan,
land, Landrigan. Okay,
Landrigan.
got
There we go.
ah,
Sounds very, yeah. Older country's more twangy. Newer has more of a crossover rock. Well, yeah, which makes sense to some degree. But I will say that like it was a funny thing when you had like Darius Rucker, who used to be in Hootie and the Blowfish, was now doing country, and I was like, that's something in itself right there. But again, I just listen to music if it sounds good. Like I've listened to stuff like um, what is it? What's her name? Dua Lipa. Listens to some of her
I
songs.
like good stuff. Yeah.
And she's English. I didn't know she was English. I thought she was
Mm,
like American or something. But it's like no, she's English. Like curses. I've
I'm
never liked
glad
it. Oh, Taylor Swift. He's probably talking about. They're probably talking about Taylor Swift. Please don't say her name. We will not say the name that must not. The she who must not be named will not be said. Unfortunately, Taylor Swift was said earlier. Oh man, I ruined that. Um, I can't. Come on, it's funny. But yeah, I've never. I mean, there's very little of like outside music. I've not listened to much like Latin music or something like that. I mean, there was Henry Enrique who did like "I Can Be Your Hero, Baby," stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You see, if the song is good, you don't actually mind which genre it is.
mm,
It can be any genre, if the song is good and it's got a nice hook to it and it's something that you're singing in your head the whole time. I mean, there's a lot of, um, I'm terrible with artists' names.
Uh,
Um,
are they Latin? Are they what kind of the country are
it
they
was a
from?
Latin guy that sang a song, and it was in totally Spanish or something, but everyone was singing it, and I can't remember what it's called. Maybe
I
someone will know.
I think it might have been
I
that
know
song.
Santana.
Santana. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Santana.
it wasn't Maria, it was the other one.
Santana. Ooh. Hey, Barbie, how you doing? You must be good with secrets too. Uh-oh.
I,
Uh-oh. Yeah, Santana. I'm gonna see Santana.
yeah, maybe the people in the chat will know what the other one
Carlos?
was.
Like Carlos
Yeah, Carlos
Santana?
Santana.
Carlos. Yeah, that's the only name I can see was Carlos Santana. I was
Yeah,
married I was married to a heavy metal idiot once. Wow. That's well, that must have sucked. He must have been hand banging all night long. That's not a good sign. We're gonna have chicken and peas. You just calm it down. Just look, we're gonna eat dinner. Just
oh,
calm it down. It's gonna be like when you get those people that sing it like it's Les Miserables. That's when you know it's not gonna be a good time. Como va?
yeah.
Oyo, como va? I don't know that Black Sabbath. I don't think I've ever heard of any of their songs to be honest. Again, I'm
Black
very
Sabbath is Ozzy Osbourne, am I right? And Ozzy's actually sings some lovely ballads too. He did a nice one with his daughter. But then
yeah,
with everything, there's a lot like the heavier stuff, and then you also get the ballad stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
gravitate towards what you like. But some of
Mhm.
the heavy stuff I really like, especially now that I'm older, which is weird. But I think when you get older, you also just get to a. Are you allowed to swear?
No, you could say that.
And
I think that oh, okay.
yeah, the older you get, you just like, ugh, yeah.
I think the older you get, either you've learned something through your getting older or you haven't. And there are people who are older who haven't. There are those
Oh
people that are
yes.
like that.
Mm,
Black Sabbath is awesome. There you go. Naggard Null says Black Sabbath is awesome. If you like
yeah.
Black Sabbath, there's your guy right there. Um, Krantz and the Red Rat. Oh, don't be like that, Neuro. Come on. See, you got one too. Don't be like that, Neuro. Neuro's got a ranch. It's on Rumble when you get a monthly gifted sub or whatever, it gives you like a red backing for your stuff to show that you're a monthly member, or as a gifted sub, you're just a member for the month.
Uh,
Ozzy and Lita Ford. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thanks for the red rash. See, there you go. Neuro learns his lesson. The
it's
PNG squirrel has finally come to full power. Oh Lord. Um, but yeah, I'm just like I don't think I've gone to a concert in a long time for something. The last thing I did go to any concert for was some sort of it was like a Beatles sort of tribute band sort of thing. But that's been it.
sorry, I just
You're right.
my husband's just asking me something. I'm at someone else's house at the moment. She's just saying that the data might run out. Um, but if that happens, then I'll just disappear.
That's fine.
So I'll say buy in advance if that happens.
Yeah.
Maar Lena, ek sal data opsit, hoor. Ek sal moet, ja.
Ballad
Ja.
together. Ballad together. There you go. All right. Um, but yeah, I just oh man, I can't remember. I can't remember where was that now. People screwing me up in chat. Oh, I'll talk about red rash and stuff. This is not gonna be a good day. Put some ointment on that. Put some ointment. Ballad together. Are you talking about that's what the Izzy and Lita Ford one was? The ballad together one. Um, Santa Ana Abraxas. Is that the one you were thinking of, Santana? Santana Abraxas.
I'm not sure. I'm also busy looking to see if I can find it. I'm terrible with names and music.
Yeah.
I hear a song and then I say, oh, is that what it's called? Um,
Yeah, you could have thought like those were the first lines of the song. Are like, oh, so that's what it's about. Time for me to go to the gym. Have a great day. Oh yeah, see you later, Francis. Have a good one.
yeah.
Hope you have a great
Bye,
rest of the day.
Francis.
And now there are only 6 in chat. Um, but but yeah, I enjoy getting to listen to different music and again just oh that's right. I forgot what I was talking about. When you get older, that's a sign right there. You're getting older. But when you get
Mm.
older, it was everywhere in the 1970s. Oh, okay, I didn't know. When you get older, I think there's a point where you stop caring as much because there's again,
Mm.
you either learn from what you've gathered throughout your life as you've grown up, or you haven't. And there's some people, like I said, who don't, and they still act like children. I mean, we're all children to some
Yeah.
degree, but there's a difference between childish and childlike, and that's a whole nother ball of
Yeah.
wax. Um,
And also, I mean, when you get older as well, other people's opinions don't. Obviously, we live in society, and you have to consider other people's opinions, but other people's opinions aren't the begin all and end all of everything.
yeah,
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. You know what I'm saying? So if someone has a differing opinion to you, you don't have to get your knickers in a twist and get all upset about it.
mhm,
Just that's their opinion. Move
yeah,
on. But everyone, I find on social media as well, especially on X,
mhm.
people always want to get into, ooh, Niku, my lights disappeared. Oh,
Woo!
dankie. Uh, but anyway, people get into fights on X all the time. If you say
Yeah.
something that differs from what someone else says, and yeah,
Mm. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you, Deb. But
yeah.
no, but yeah, but that's a big component of social media because
So,
at a
so
at a certain point, people stop wanting to, like we are now having a conversation, and they come to the retrospect of the "I'm right, you're wrong" scenario, which is
mm,
what most of, not all, but most of social media is that "I'm right, you're wrong," and then they'll try to do stuff through confirmation bias or whatever to try to prove the point. The problem of it,
yeah,
the problem of it is though, is that social media is a great tool for connection and like
mm,
now and all this stuff. But the problem of it is that like with any tool, you have that other end of the fact, and it's not the tool's fault; it's the people who use the tool's fault, right?
yeah. And the thing
Because
is, you don't have to react to every little arsehole out there. Sometimes people say shit, and I'm just like, whatever, move on. Honestly, I always say as well, the power's in your fingers. You do not have to react. It's
yeah,
the same when you get these phone calls from marketing companies. And I've watched people sitting on the phone trying to get themselves out of the conversation, like, oh, no, I can't talk now. And these telemarketers, they'll keep asking you another question to
mhm,
keep you on the line. And I'm like, are you fucking insane? You've got a thumb. Push the call. Why are you engaging? And it's the same with social media. You can choose what you engage with and what you don't.
mhm,
And that's why I enjoy X because I have a good time on X. I enjoy it. I love it.
yeah,
It's a social outlet for me because I work from home and it's nice. I thoroughly enjoy X.
yeah,
And as I said, there's a lot of trolls there, but
oh yeah,
for them, every now and again, I will have fun with one because please, bitch, please, you can find me. But for the most part, I ignore them.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's again with content creation as well. There are people who are very trollish, and sometimes they're sort of like what the original meaning of the troll was, or they're harassers or whatever. And for me, it's just I don't. I mean, I've had someone on. His name is Lord of the Rain. He's very much he's a kind of troll person, but I've had him on before, and he's a great person. But at the end of the day, though, there is that side of the stuff where it just doesn't make sense. It feels like it's wasted energy, and there's nothing productive going on. Like the reason why I do this the reason why I do this show is because it feels like a lost art. It feels like something that's not as prevalent as what used to be when you didn't really have technology and you were forced to talk to people, right? Like you were forced to go to your
Mm,
neighbors to news or whatever and all this stuff, and you listen to the radio. But now with technology, you can easily sidestep and ignore that. And yes, you can talk to people far away. That's a benefit. But also
Yes,
the part of it too
definitely.
is like you can go to a restaurant, and I've seen this many times, and I've been in that position too, so I'm not excluding myself. But you do see a lot of people who are on the phones or whatever, and there are two people sitting right across from each other. It's like you're missing an opportunity just to converse about whatever.
Yeah, that's the other part as well. There was a survey done a while ago where restaurants said that the turnover on tables was so much slower and they were making less money because in the past people would come in, they would order,
Mm,
and then they would chat a bit, and then the food would come and they'd eat and off they go, and then the next table comes in, so you make your money because you're turning over tables in your service time.
mhm,
But now people come in and the first thing they do is onto the phones because now they must check in, they must tell everyone where they are. I'm at this restaurant, so they do the whatever, which maybe that's good for the restaurant. But
mhm.
now it takes longer to order their first course, and then there's a delay because when the food comes, you don't just eat your food. Now you've got to first photograph it. You've got to post it on social media. And I do this too. If
Yeah.
I've eaten, like today, I ordered a Thai dish, pad Thai, because
Mhm,
the single freaking Thai restaurant that we had in our little dorpie or town
mhm,
closed down. So when I
mhm,
came here, it was the first time I could order Thai food in nearly 2 years. I make mean Thai food, but it's not the same as when you're getting it from a proper place.
mhm,
So I took a photo of my Thai food and I posted it on the Sis Science group. But that's what we do. So you post your photos and then you eat.
mhm,
So it just takes so much longer for the tables to turn over, and
mhm.
restaurants are actually losing money because of that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also and they photograph their meals. Yeah, exactly. But that's a lot of that's also part of the content creator influencer field as well because you see a
Yeah.
lot of them do it. And for me,
Mm,
I get it, right? If you go to this restaurant for the first time, it's like a high star deal, or if it's just a different restaurant you've never been before, I can understand that. But
yeah.
there comes a point where it kind of just like just eat your meal. People don't need to
Yeah.
know. It's like almost taking a photograph of yourself while you're on the toilet. No one needs to know you're on the toilet. But you
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword because it's good business for the restaurant. Because if I now look at a picture of a food that someone's posted and I think, shit, I must try that restaurant. I haven't heard of them before.
mm,
And that food looks good. But the flip side of it is that it takes so much longer for the tables to turn over.
mm,
So they're actually serving less customers.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's the
It's
advent
just,
of
it's just our society has changed.
mm, yeah, the
Yeah.
advent of technology with
Yeah.
all that stuff. Oh,
And we
see
also
you later,
don't
Deb.
have as many human interactions as before. Ah, thanks, Deb.
Have a
Thanks
good
for
one.
stopping by.
Anytime, Nagnal. Well, you've been on, and I trust you, so that should be good enough. Um, but no, but yeah, it's the interaction part that seems to be like it's not it doesn't have to be like, oh, how was your day, it doesn't have to be like how was work or that stuff like that, but the exploration of the perception of what someone sees, like how you perceive the world is very much different from how I perceive the world, all of those are
Mm,
similarities. But the point of the matter is that we have this table we can come to and just talk about that or the many other perspectives we have, because you have grown up in an environment where is my different bit different from my environment, but there's
mm,
still some similarities in between, and so there's that human element we can come on and say this is this and that is that and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I just, and again, I did this because it also of people I was following. I didn't really see a lot of that either because it was more of like the entertainment industry, the gaming industry, all those kind of industry stuff. And I get it,
mm.
right? Don't listen to me about content creation. Do your own thing. That should be the whole
Yeah.
point. But it was like you have a lot of content creators who have a lot of people who follow them, thousands upon thousands,
Mm,
and I've never seen one reach out to the followers or someone who just followed whatever and say, "Would you like to come on and have them on as guests?" Because it is a risk. It is a risk. I understand that,
mm.
and usually they invite creator, just other creators, which is understandable. But for me, it's like the possibilities are endless with this thing. It's limitless because of the
Yeah.
technology we can use and stuff. But I get to have people on who are creators or aren't creators, and I'm not bound by niches or whatever because I can go anywhere.
Yes.
We started talking about your homeland, and now we're talking about heavy metal rock. I mean, come on, that's not bad. I'm waiting for the
Have you
day.
listened to good music?
I'm waiting for the day heavy metal rock becomes a thing in South Africa, and you just see a bunch of people with mohawks or something like that.
Oh, we already have that.
Oh,
We
you do?
already have that.
Ah,
Yeah, no, we've got, I mean, yeah, no. We've had a lot of great musicians that
oh,
come from South Africa.
oh, wow.
You know, we're the current World Cup champions in rugby and in cricket.
Oh, I
And the
didn't know
100
that.
meter sprint is ours, the record.
Oh,
The
wow.
fastest guy in the world is ours.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
First
Well,
heart transplant was done by a South African surgeon.
oh, wow. I didn't know that either. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
a lot. Today, class, we are learning a lot of different things from a lot of different. Now,
Yeah.
on your notes for the later, you're going to have to start writing down what you learned today. We have. Oh, thank
Yeah.
you, good sir. Thank you. I'll look for it. You know how to find me. Um, but yeah, and again, I've had Swamp Chitron too. He's a really great guy. He just uses a squirrel for a PNG as a VTuber. He's shown his face, but like whenever he's on screen, he'll have like this really like farming squirrel on his avatar, and it's just funny that
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I've seen that, but yeah. I
yeah.
could have chosen my backup account is Queen Marjorie, but even then, it's my first name. Anjanette is
Aw,
my second name.
oh.
And from Game of Thrones, my family now, as a joke, call me Queen Marjorie.
Hello, Queen Marjorie has entered the chat.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
good lord. Well, and that's the funny
yes.
thing too, is because I don't know if it's for all South Africans, but you do have a long name. I seen
Oh,
from
no,
your
it's
thing.
just, I actually have no idea because my maiden name was Koch, which is German.
Oh,
Because my great grandfather came from Germany
mm,
on my dad's side. But I married, my husband is Janssen van Vieren. I know
oh,
you guys pronounce it Jansen van Vieren, but it's
oh,
actually
okay.
Janssen van Vieren.
Janssen.
So it's a bit of a bloody mouthful. So on most of my stuff, I just have Anjanette Janssen. But
Uh,
when I was signing up for X, it went Anjanette Vieren. So I
yeah.
just went with it. Never occurred to me to use another name on X because I don't know. I am who I am. The only fake thing about me on X is my profile pic,
Yeah.
but that's just AI enhanced
Yeah.
because I kind of like the gladiator look.
Enhance it, because no, your PFP looks like you're like in Roman times or something. Is what it
Yeah,
looks like.
it was an app on Instagram
Oh,
that you could put a picture of yourself there, and then it gives you 40 different variations of gladiator. You know, as a gladiator woman or
yeah.
whatever. So I kind of like that.
So you're saying you see yourself as a gladiator? Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yum. My real name is Too Famous. Oh my. Oh. Is this because it involves a bird? Or
Kiwi's real name. There've
yeah,
been songs written about her real name. That's all I will say.
Michelle? It's Michelle. I knew it.
I won't let the cat out the bag.
Julia. No,
Oh,
Julia.
no,
Okay.
no, no. Oh, anyway, nothing said.
You open the door. Now I'm gonna try and find it out. All
Oh,
right.
no, if Kiwi tells you it's different, but yeah.
Well, you know where to find me, Kiwi, of course. If you go to my links below, you'll know where to find me. Oh man, because I when I communicate with other people, it's mostly through X or Twitter X because of it's just that's where a majority of people are. But sometimes people need Discord or email. I do a few through email, but it's almost limiting in a sense because a lot of people don't really respond very often to their email, or it gets buried underneath the tons and tons of spam they get. Um,
Yeah, I must be
unfortunately.
honest. I never check my private email. I mean, I use my work email, and
Mm.
if it's important stuff that I want to see, I'll put it on my work email. Um, it's, yeah, I mean, you get so much crap in your personal emails that I couldn't be bothered. Every now and again, I sort of scan through it to see if there's something important I've missed.
Hmm.
It's the same with SMSs. Okay, I don't know what you call them there. Text messages.
Yeah, text messages. Yep.
I never check my text messages anymore because
Hmm.
we've got WhatsApp. I don't know what you use there, but we use WhatsApp. I
I
know
just
there's Telegram and other stuff, but no, I've downloaded Telegram once for something, but I've
mhm.
never used it. Everything is done through WhatsApp.
Yeah, I don't. I yeah. All I would say is my cousin. He was my cousin before he was assassinated. Oh, seriously? Come on.
Oh, Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy. I can say that. Kiwi was related to JFK.
But they're not related to RFK. Or no, they would because
Well,
it's
I mean,
Kennedy.
obviously, JFK is RFK's ancestor.
Yeah. All I say is my
Can we say
cousin.
that? It's still, yeah.
He was before he was assassinated. So Kennedy, okay.
I've already dropped it, Kiwi. I've already
Ki-
spoiled it.
Kiwi Kennedy. That's a
No,
name right there. Keep it as
no,
that. Kiwi Kennedy. they'll they'll definitely write names about that now. They'll be like the Kiwi
no.
Kennedy and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that has a nice ring to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Kiwi classic, but I mean, if you throw Kennedy into it,
Yeah.
it's a lot sounds a lot better. But I was gonna say, is it gonna have to do with the fruit, the bird, or the country?
Maybe it could be all three.
Yeah, the fruity person over here. Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
they have stated that Kennedy is the last name. All right. Well, I won't try to bother you anymore. We have figured out at least part of the puzzle. Uh, blame Angie for that one. Um, but
Sorry, Kiwi.
um, but no, it's like with going back to the conversational thing. Like for me, like any uh not many. I mean, some may say no, but for many of the people in chat, whether on the Rumble or YouTube side, they all have the same opportunity to come on as you do. And I think that's also something missing too, is because you do have this sort of hierarchy between creator and user. And there's a degree of why you have to be careful with, people, viewers and stuff. But at the end of the day, though, I know too close to American politics. Oh, okay. All right. But I do know that, yes, it is a risk, but for me, it is a risk we're taking because it's limitless.
Mm,
I personally don't see the reason of why not to, but other people's have theirs. So I'm not gonna force that. But I just see it as the thing I do is a limitless opportunity, and where I didn't know where I wanted to go with any of this, right? I didn't know where I wanted to go
mm,
with any of this. Now I have this thing that drives me to say to keep going because I can sit here and tell you that I have had on over 200 various guests, and for many other creators that takes almost a year, over a year or so to even have that. And I'm just like, how is it possible I could do this thing and it seems a little harder for everyone else?
yeah.
it's
But I
it's not
also
a,
like the fact that there was no set agenda to the conversation. It just flows. So I like that because that's how life goes. It
yeah,
just flows. And
suppose, yeah.
yeah, when you're trying to stick to a point, it doesn't always work that way.
No, good
Yeah,
lord, no.
yeah,
It's life. You have the personality for it. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. I don't always think that, but thank you for
yeah.
the I just find that a conversation has power to it. It can have power to it. And
Mm.
I believe that by many skipping over that and just, so does Miss oh, look at that. So does Miss Anjanette. You
Oh,
have the
thank you.
personality. See, bringing you on and everyone says you're lovely. Look at that. Um,
Oh, I need a big head. It's not
there
going
you
to fit in anymore.
But
No
I
chance of that.
yeah. She's a yeah, no airhead here. No airhead here.
No, life's too short. No.
Yeah. And that's
There's
another
enough
thing too
pompous
is,
assholes in this world. Don't have to.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But again, sometimes in life you have to be a bit dickish. Sometimes in life.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but again, that's why I do it, because I get the greatest opportunity uh, that I've ever known. And while I can't, no, it was kind of a downer that I can't really visit in said country. I can use this thing called technology to
Mm,
take up that point, because to the most
yeah.
part it's free. It's free to do to a degree,
Yeah.
and if you can speak English, hey, it's worth its weight in gold. It's just so much. And a
Yes.
cobber. What's a cobber?
Oh, I'm Kiwi's cobbler. That's a very good friend.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought she was trying to say cobbler, and I was like, wait a second, she makes good cobbler. What? I'm
No,
like, I
I
gotta hit
am
that up.
a great cobbler, but I can't make it.
Oh, thank you, Neuro. I mean, this is. Come on, Neuro, be nice, okay? Be nice. All right. But yeah, I just
I saw people on Commie. What's Commie? I mean,
you
oh, you.
YouTube. Some people say commie too because of the draconian rules and stuff which YouTube has, but
Yeah,
I stream
it
to
is
both
just
places.
ridiculous because I've often, I mean, if I look at the stuff that gets said on, say, TNME, I
Mm,
mean, the words fly, and I mean, I love it because it's so uncensored and whatever.
uh-huh,
But then there'll be certain things that they can't say because it's going to get their channel closed down. But then
mhm.
I'm thinking, but every other word in the book has been said. Why certain words you can't say because it's going to close your channel down?
Yeah.
YouTube should just treat people like grown-ups.
Well, and I
I
think
mean,
part of
nobody
it.
forces anyone to watch. So if you don't like the content, don't watch it. I
Mhm,
mean, why enforce certain things when it's not necessary? We're grown-ups.
mhm. Well, I think part of
Yeah.
it is the money side of it, right? Because a lot of people like to get monetized on YouTube. I mean, it's the aim for many
I
people.
suppose it's for the advertising content.
Yeah,
Maybe certain advertisers won't want to be linked with certain
other people.
content.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that plays a part in it too. And again, it's Google, right? YouTube is Google and all that stuff, and
Mm,
Google's global and all that sort of thing. At the end of the day, I'm not on one platform because I've seen the stories of YouTube and Twitch, and I don't believe in being one platform only, and that's why I'm on both Rumble and YouTube. So if something happens
yeah.
one way, so I have another. But yeah, and of course, see you later, Sandy. I did see that, and thank you, of course.
Okay, I was just typing by to her.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sandy. Really
yeah.
appreciate it. She's also part of the Cis Science group.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's again, this is probably the best thing I can think of making comments. That's look at that. And she cursed a few times too. Can you believe that? No. She's got a mouth on her. Goodness sake.
Who said
Um
that?
Swamp Ginger right there. Swamp Ginger
Oh,
said that.
okay.
I said you said the bad word stuff, but I don't care.
Uh,
You are
yeah.
appreciated. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and again, I want when I do this stuff, I know it's not gonna get like
Oh,
the
thank
high.
you.
Uh,
Yeah.
I know I do this thing. I know it doesn't get the high views or high follower count or all the monetization stuff or whatever. The point of the matter is though, it reaches beyond those things because we're all
Mm,
human at the end of the day. We all deal with different things. We all live in different countries and experience different pieces of it. But
yeah.
when we can come to this table here or whatever, and we can just talk and not be restricted by anything by it, the fascination and the power in it is just fantastical, and
Mm,
I can't walk away from that because it's infinite, it's limitless,
yeah.
it's the possibilities are endless, and it drives me crazy when it feels like I feel like I'm looking around everything else and it's like you guys are limiting yourselves because you have something that's so limitless, and I'm like it just drives me crazy, but I'm glad for it regardless because Swamp Ginger, you, I've had on Nina Infinity. I've had on so many other people. Nagardol, I've had Nagardol on. He's a great guy. All sorts of people. And when you do that, you not only get past your own bias because we all have biases personally.
Mm,
You get
oh,
past your
yeah.
own, yeah, but you also get to see some similarities where life essence in itself there's not too much difference like you were saying earlier. It's just the geographic part of it and all that stuff.
Yeah. Someone once said, and I'm not sure who it was, but there is more that unites us than divides us. But people tend to focus on what divides us. And
Yeah.
it's often people with a political agenda or some sort of agenda where they want to create division. It's um, it's how they, divide and conquer.
Mm.
So that is our certain, like the Marxists as well. It's better for them to divide people and have people fighting each other than for
Mm.
people to actually work together.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
anyway,
it almost
yeah,
seems like disaster is the great bringer together of
mm,
people, but it shouldn't take a
yeah,
disaster for that to happen. And again, we all have our differences, we all have our biases, and that's okay. We can all disagree on different things. But when it
yeah,
becomes a sort of torrential downpour of violence, that's when that whole aspect changes. It's now just not about words, it's about action, and action to a degree can kill. And that's the
yeah,
sad part. And that's the sad
mm,
part of it. But
yeah,
anyway, it is the top of the hour, again, and of course we're gonna start winding down and going out because I do have to set
yeah,
up for the tomorrow's stream, and also have to get. I didn't put out
yeah,
this week's schedule, so I got a lot of stuff to do, and I also have a few errands to run as well. But I do want. She's right. It's easier to control factions than unified people. Yeah, agreed. But I think people's differences within themselves kind of keep from getting together. Because again, we're human beings, we're flawed. There's not always going to be a kumbaya, but there's a level of understanding. And when you could reach that level of understanding, knowing it's not perfect, knowing that you're going to hit disagreements or whatever, you're on something that has a lot more value. And I think,
mm.
and that's partly why I do this. Um,
And the other thing is social media as well,
mm,
because it is much easier to be rude to someone over the internet or over
mm,
social media about something stupid.
mm,
And if you were standing opposite that person, you wouldn't talk to them like that. You wouldn't
I,
treat them like that. But because it's on social media, it's much easier to go and call, to be rude and whatever.
mm,
Look, there's some people that are just asking for it. But I mean, I'm just talking about in general.
yeah.
Uh,
I would say that we've seen sort of these riot sort of things and all that stuff. Like if you want to use the U.S. for example, where you will have people stand right in front of each other and wish death. That has happened. So that does
yeah,
happen to a degree. But more than that, there is some
it's just
common.
easier on social media than
Yes.
you wouldn't necessarily react that way
Mm,
if you were having a conversation with someone face to face.
mm,
But it's easier on social media because you've got that distance
mm.
to say something. Because I can call someone something and they're not going to bop me on the nose for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you two guys arguing and they were arguing opposite each other, they would have flattened, they would have gotten into a fist fight, and
Mm,
that would have been the end of it.
yeah.
But because it's social media, people just say so much more, but then you
Yeah.
don't have to engage with that.
Yeah. It's
So
it's
finish,
a ch-
end the
it's a choice.
conversation, move on, scroll past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
anyway,
it's
yeah,
it's all a choice at the end of the day, and sometimes people choose greatly, and sometimes people choose poorly. But at the end of it, so what we're gonna do
yeah,
promotional stuff, and then kind of go into a few things, and then we'll end it from there. Um,
yeah.
but I was like, since you know what, I think Miss Anjanette said it best. If you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it. Or if you don't want to have to mess with it or whatever, don't mess with it or something like that.
Mm.
We should be like Anjanette. What do you think is like the last thought for the day? How about that? Of this whole ordeal that you've been here for and then been a part of, what's your final thought for the day? At least for this.
People only have power over you if you allow them to. So don't engage. Just engage. Choose who you want to engage with, and the ones that are whatever's, you
Mm.
scroll past.
Words of wisdom. Like ooh, there goes my you're you're fine, Kiwi. But yeah, that's something to live by because at the end of the day, if you really want to get into it, you and I will be 6 feet under or dust in the wind. And if you
Mm.
spend your whole life to some faction yelling on the internet, trying to bring people down or whatever, you have
What a
lived a
waste of
life.
time. Have fun
What?
on the internet. It's there to have fun.
Yeah, it's
X
it's
is for fun.
yeah,
X is my fun place. It's not where I go looking for conflict.
yeah. You can find that in your own neighborhood. Unfortunately, that's another
But
issue
I
in
can
itself
find that
too.
arguing with my husband.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey, no, we're not gonna deal with that out there.
Oh
Um,
no. I'm married 38 years, so yeah.
Now, congratulations,
Yes.
congratulations.
Yeah. So
You don't really hear that much anymore, but we'll get moving on because it's getting out of time. But anyway, if for thank you for that, Miss Angie, for the thought for the day. Oh, the thought of the day. Thank you for that, and of course, whether you're on the Rumble side or with you. See, I'm human like everyone else. It's not going to go well.
yeah.
If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
come on, guys. But it also helps in having other people on, like Anjanette, like Swamp Ginger, like Nagranol, like Tommy, like so many other people. At the end of the day, I do this thing talking to creators and non-creators alike because there's so much potential and limitless, and that's why I do, because it's a fascination unto itself, and again, it does feel like a dying art, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So any help with the engager factor on either end is much appreciated. Of course, there's a link down below. Oh, I'll take that off. There's a link down below down below in the description. But thank you, Nora, for that. You can go to that link. You'll see like my Twitter X, my email, my Discord link, but it's mostly just for DMing. Just another way of communication. Just another way of finding me for communication. At the end of the day, people who are in the chat have about as same as much the opportunity as Miss Anjanette here. So if you've ever feel interested in coming on, guess what? You can find me on X. You can find me on email. Either way, do not think. I've had many people say this. Do not think that you don't have anything worth to say. Don't be afraid. I understand the anxiety, I understand the worries, but guess what? I've always told people, if you can answer what color the sky is, you're good. It's that
I
simple.
say it was green.
Well, you know what? We'll go with that. We'll go with that. I think someone has green filtered glasses, but we'll go with that. Oh my goodness! When it stops being fun, leave. It's not
Yes.
stopping fun. It's just it's time to go. I've got other stuff I have to do.
No.
Mm.
Kiwi means with the
Oh,
engagement
the
on X. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I apologize. But yes, and of course those stuff is there. And tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, or I think from your time zone would be would probably be
Yeah, but
like
it's 9 o'clock. It's 10 past 9 at night here, and 11 degrees.
mm, yeah, that's
It's really
cold.
freezing. Yeah, no, geez. That's why I've
The
been sitting like this.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a website called time.is that allows you to look up a different country's time. So I'll have to look up yours. I thought it was 6 hours, but it sounded like seven because it's three
yeah. Well,
eleven.
if it's 10 past 9, what is the time there where you are?
It's 3:11 p.m. my time.
No, then it is 6 hours.
6 hours. Okay. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure. So yeah, it's not 6 hours. So if it's 10 p.m. my time, it's probably going to be two, and then four. So it's probably 4 to 5 a.m. your time. So tomorrow at 10 p.m. my time, I'll have on a gentleman named Metalord, who I had on a long time ago. Has been gone for a while, but he's coming back again. So that's that. But regardless, that is at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So hope you guys will at least see it. Or there's always the replay. You can always watch that too. And Jeanette, I just realized that you are Anjanette from chat. See, there you go.
Who's
Nagardnall.
that?
Nagardnall.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
he
I
just
don't. Yeah.
he just
Yeah,
like
Naganol and I always greet each other in chat. But Naganol's very kind. He greets everybody. He's very
yeah.
sweet.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, now Nagardnall who knows you are, and I've had you both on. So there you go.
Yeah.
Wonderful lady, worth having. Of course, of course. Well said. There you go. All claps in the chat. The 8 ball made.
Oh,
But anyway, before the again 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and of course the last bit is again, I am part of the Proton partner program. Uh, I'm not in it for the money or just in it to see if I could do it. I promote it because I believe in the benefits. Again, they have alias emails you can use. I think it's more for the paid stuff. They are very good about spam, so you'll rarely get spam, if at all, in your inbox. And there are no ads, even if you use the free. You just have to refresh and yet. You just have to refresh. You just have to refresh the page. But regardless, those are the three things I mentioned. The link is down below on either in the chat or in the description at the end of the day. Um, I believe it's beneficial, has a benefit to all. And even if you don't, guess what? You checked it out, you gave your opinion, and that was that. But I promote it for that faction, so thank you all for that. Trying to get less and less hung up on that, but there's a regard right there. But of course, the last thing I do with my guest, and of course Nagradnall and many others have been a part of it, is questions from a hat. So I bought a hat from Rumble, and I put a bunch
Oh
of
wow.
questions inside. Yeah, yeah. So what happens is that
Yeah.
you might guess get two free. Oops.
What?
Okay, okay, okay.
What happened? Oh, there.
Yeah, it was just a blip. So what happens is that you might guess get two freebie questions from the hat. However, if people want more questions from the hat, they have to give for it. Now, obviously, I'm not monetizing YouTube, so sorry, YouTube side, that them's the rules. However, if you're on Rumble, I am already monetized, have been monetized for quite some time, and all you have to do is give a Rumble rant. Doesn't matter the amount, you can give whatever amount you want for another one out, but you do have to give a Rumble rant to get another one out of the hat. So I'm gonna switch it up a bit and making sure. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm gonna pull a question from the hat, and we'll see how good you really are. No,
I got all my shares.
yeah, here we go. First question: if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it?
Oh man.
Yeah, she got.
Geez, now I've just hit a blank. First thing I'm thinking of is to always be thin. But that's a
Okay,
bit harsh.
I don't know if you call that a superpower.
Superpower of healing.
There we go. That's something I can relate. That's something I can
Yeah.
see on. And you, of course, obviously, you would use it to heal. Obviously, um,
Yes.
but I think a lot of people would like that, especially with
Yeah.
those who are suffering pretty heavy stuff. So there's
Mm.
there. All right, question number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what this really is about. All right, 1 second. All right, let's see if I can pick a good one. All right, question number 2. What's the most ridiculous way you've ever injured yourself?
I broke my wrist.
Doing what?
We were my wrist. um, we were going on a trip, so I needed to get suitcases down.
Mm,
So I had high heels on, and I climbed up onto a chair, got the first two suitcases down, went to
mm,
another room,
mm.
put the chair down again, and as I was going to get onto the chair, I thought to myself, maybe not a good idea to do this in high heels. Bearing in mind, I'd already got two suitcases down that way. So
Mm-mm.
I climbed, kicked the shoes off, but
Mm.
your feet are in shoes and it's summer. So what do your feet do at the bottom? Ever so slightly sweaty. Not major, I'm a lady, just slightly sweaty. So I climbed up onto the chair, got the suitcases down, and as I stepped down, I stepped onto the clog, my shoe, my high heels that I kicked off. I
Right.
stepped onto it. So, of course, my ankle went clunk.
Ah,
And then I put the other foot down to steady myself, and it slipped because it's on a tiled floor. So I went down like a freaking ox. You put your arms out behind you. So I cracked my wrist.
ah.
So I was lying there. My ankle was screaming on the one side, and my
Mm.
wrist was screaming on the other side. And I was like, oh God, please bring me paintballs. I just want paintballs. Yeah, that was the most ridiculous thing because if I kept the freaking shoes on, I would have been fine.
Yeah,
But because I kicked them off thinking, geez, this isn't such a good idea,
yeah.
and then went and fell over the same shoe. So,
Man.
yeah, maybe that. I haven't had many injuries. Many
Uh,
falls, not
many
many
fa-
injuries.
Yeah, yeah. That's well. I mean, luckily it wasn't worse because I mean, those kind of falls down the stairs, those can be worse. So you always have to be
No,
careful.
no, I wasn't downstairs. It just fell off the chair. I mean, I just stepped off the chair onto a shoe.
Oh, okay, okay. I see
Yeah,
what you're saying. Yeah, that
yeah.
hurts. That probably hurts just as worse as if you were to stand on a
Oh,
Lego bed.
it was so sore. Honestly, to break a bone is sore.
Mm.
And then I was going overseas the next week. So
Oh,
I went overseas with a cast on my hand.
yeah. But now you can beat people up because it's just so hard. Bam.
Yeah.
Um, don't do that though. Please, no one do that. But anyway, man beats a person with their cast. Content creator said, "Do it." I was like,
The funny thing is, years after,
mm,
a consultant came into my office and he kept looking at me and eventually he said to me, "Did you drive a Chrysler whatever?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you have your hand broken? Did you have a cast on your arm?" I said,
yeah,
"Yes." And the only reason he remembered me is he'd cut me off in traffic and I'd flipped the bird. But I'd flipped the bird with my arm in the cast, and he
yeah.
remembered my face from then.
Oh goodness. Hey, you remember me
Yeah.
flipping the bird off to you? Yeah, I flipped the bird off you too. That's awesome.
Yeah, you must have been driving like an idiot. So, yeah, I don't flip the bird for nothing. Yeah. You don't
you're
waste the bird. It's there
you're
for
the
good reason.
yeah. You're the effing idiot. No, you're the effing idiot. We're gonna be friends, aren't we? No.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is the end of the show. And of course, I'd like to thank all those in chat, whether they're on the Rumble side or YouTube side. Thank you guys so much. And of course, thank you, Miss Anjanette, for coming on. It was a
Oh, thank
big
you for having me. This was
oh,
fun.
oh yeah, glad to have you. Of course, you're always welcome to come back. Obviously, that's all I tell my guests. Every one of my guests are always welcome to come back because there's always more to talk about. It's ridiculous how much more there's to talk about,
Mm,
and you never know. But
yeah.
yeah, thank you all so
No,
much.
just drop me a line whenever. It's fine. No hassle.
I'll have to make time for it because it is a big hour difference, and you're mostly not going to be awake when I usually do my stuff. So, but we'll try for
Yeah.
a more reasonable time next time. Well, like this sort of time. Um,
Oh, no, I can do 9 o'clock as well. But anyway, you've got
yeah,
lots of other
mm,
people you can interview in
yeah.
the meantime.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is
Yeah.
also this week is full, and I've yet to put out the schedule for it. But yes, you're always welcome to come
Yeah.
back. And again, guys, again, links down below. So anything to help with the engagement factor is much appreciated because again, I know that the stuff I do is not the algorithmic catching sort of thing like all the other content creators do to some degree, but I know that there's an importance to it. And sometimes in life, the things that would get metric value. Uh, aren't always the ones that get good night YouTube. Oh, thank you. Have a good night, Kiwi. Um,
Night, Kiwi.
there
Shame
you go.
Kiwi's up until early hours of the morning to watch
Get
this.
to bed, Kiwi. Gosh dang it, get to bed already. Goodness sake. But I do this thing because I
And
see value in it regardless. And I believe the value is worth more its weight in either silver or gold. And I hope you all have come, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all come next time because there's so many other people, and always not enough time. So hope
yeah,
to
and
see
thank
them.
you everyone from all my friends that popped up to see me, and even those that weren't. Thank you very much for coming to watch.
Yeah, now Nagradnall that you've seen in chat has seen your face. Look at that. We've got connections all over. But
Yeah,
any well, I don't know how else that will work, but it will work. But anyway, I when I the end I show with playing another music video like I did earlier, and again, this one is also made by Pogo as well, and it's called "One Day with You," of course, by Pogo. And again, guys, tomorrow 10 p.m. Eastern with Metal Lord. Hope to see any or all of you there. If not, that's okay. There's always a replay, and I appreciate you all the same. Have a great
yeah.
day, guys. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Bye.